This is the Mistine Ultra Deep Dive on GIAX, known as the Nicholas Global Equity and Income ETF. It is built to provide a mix of current income and growth by combining global equity exposure with a daily option income strategy. In plain English, GIAX invests in other ETF funds for broad global equity exposure and uses options to generate cash flow. GIAX holds a mix of index-based ETFs, including US, large cap, mid cap, international, and emerging market funds. It also holds a few individual stocks and short-term US Treasury securities. The goal is to achieve a diversified global equity portfolio. But that is not all. GIAX also generates income through credit call spreads. This means it sells call options on major US market indexes and simultaneously buys higher strike call options to limit downside risk. These trades reset daily or monthly, producing option premium income that is paid out monthly. It launched in the year 2024, around the end of July. The fund charges a net expense ratio of 0.93%, which covers its active management, ETF holdings, and options overlay. Now let us talk about performance. Through the most recent 5 months, GIAX's net asset value rose roughly 5.97%, and the market price rose about 6.15%, compared to the S&P 500 index, which returned around 9.45% since inception. That shows you get stable income and some growth, but slightly lag typical large-cap indexes. GIAX currently has assets under management of around $59.5 million, spread across about 3.4 million shares. That level of liquidity is moderate and adequate for most investors. Regarding holdings, around 97% of the fund is invested in equity ETFs and short-term treasury securities. A few percent is held in individual holdings like Tesla and Microsoft. The fund pays out distributions monthly. Its most recent dividend was approximately $3.76 per share, or about 21.2% yield on NAV. But the 30-day SEC yield, which excludes option income, is only 0.3%. That implies most income comes from options, not equity dividends. Now let us break down the strategy. The fund combines global equity exposure with covered call income from US index options. It targets income first, then capital growth. This makes it a hybrid between equity and income strategies. It can fit in both growth and income portfolios. But there are trade-offs. Option income can fluctuate with volatility. If markets calm, premiums shrink and payouts may fall. Also, equity market declines reduce value, and option strategies can underperform in highly trending markets. There is also counterparty and liquidity risk in options. Let us now give you my meter rating across 5 categories. Income potential, 4 out of 5. Option premiums can be generous, but they are not guaranteed and vary with market conditions. Growth potential, 3 out of 5. The fund holds global equities, so there is upside, but some upside is given up through the option spread. Risk level, 3 out of 5. Risk is moderate with diversified equities and hedged options. However, options add complexity and counterparty risk. Sustainability, 3 out of 5. The strategy is built to be durable, but monthly income depends on volatility and liquidity. Simplicity, 4 out of 5. It is easier to own than managing individual global ETFs and options, yet still more complex than a passive index fund. My total meter rating is 3.4 out of 5. In summary, GIAX targets current income with global equity exposure and an options overlay. It suits investors looking for a middle ground between income and growth, with some added complexity. It is not a pure dividend fund or a pure equity ETF, but a hybrid for those seeking both. If you have any videos you'd like me to cover, say it in the comments below and I will break it down in plain English.